Welcome, low ego action heroes. I'm Debbie Levitt from Delta CX, and this is the Delta CX Hive, our rebranded community where you can join us in lots of different ways. We are on Twitch. I hope you'll follow us there. Definitely better than being lost in the YouTube algorithm. Also on Blue Sky, Patreon, Discord. I'm trying to move us in directions of fewer algorithms, and I hope you were able to join us just now for our first live co-working stream. Thank you to the community members who joined. I saw Ana Lucia yesterday in gaming, Sirocco, Kelby, and a few others. So thank you so much for joining that. And thank you, Sandra. Happy New Year's. Yes, thank you. I wish the same to all of you. Yes, good health and a good year. I'm hoping for good things this year. I think there are going to be some definite ups and downs, but everybody do the best you can and keep finding good things to work towards. Also a quick note, you'll see this little dcx.to under the modified logo, and that has all of the links to everything. You can always drop by dcx.to and see all of our resources, channels, articles, publications, books, you name it. You look amazing. Oh, thank you. Compared to what? I do use a filter on my camera. I think some of you know that. Let's see. I'll turn it off for a moment so you can laugh. Let's see. With filter, without filter. So there you go. That's what I that's what I actually look like, but I enjoy the with filter. There you go. Just so that it looks like I've put on makeup. So thank you, very kind of you. I still have a lot of weight to lose, but you got to shoot for something with with the new year. So okay, so this is hi Ana Lucia. I had to close the tab and open up a new one to see the stream. Oh, strange. I thought Twitch would just tell you we're back online. So as always, this is the Ask Me Anything Q&A combined stream, whether you have questions. The Delta CX Hive is about supporting you wherever you are on your path in work and in life. If you are staying in tech, you want to talk about UX and CX and product and strategy, I'm here for it. You're leaving tech, you're working on non-tech side hustles, I'm here for it. You want to talk about introspection and life goals and improving yourself? I'm in life coaching school. I'm here for it. So in 2025, we are here for whatever you need. So questions are free. Please ask them. You can put them in the chat. You'll see they come up here with your name. If you want to ask something more anonymous, I forgot to put the link up on the screen. Give me a second. We've got a link. It is dcx.to/Q, and that's where you can ask a question. It'll come into my email. You can keep it anonymous, and that way I will answer your questions, and nobody has to know who you are, including me. So we're going to start with something that came up during our stream, during our co-working stream just now, because even though it was a quiet stream, we were in the live chat together. Thanks for all of that great chat. Yes, I am live. Maybe now Ana Lucia knows. Maybe we're a little late on Twitch there. And so I want to talk about something that Ana Lucia brought up, which is that, and then Thomas Wilson posted about it on LinkedIn, which I barely saw because I'm barely going to LinkedIn anymore. Boo hiss. So this is what she found. Now I Googled it and it happened to give me Threads. I am definitely not on Threads, but I just figured that was the first thing I pulled up and this was easy to look at so we can talk about it. And this is Erin McGough. And she's giving her predictions for 2025 and the kind of the state of the job market. This is certainly a topic we've covered many times on this channel. I've been covering it in articles. We're talking about it in Discord. I wrote my Life After Tech book related to this. So let's see what Erin McGough has to say. And as I talk about this, you can write in the chat what you think of this. Is she, what is this? Nope, this is garbage email coming in, not from any of you. Okay, so her first thing, and she says, hey, disclaimer, these are things I think will happen. They're not necessarily things I want to happen. Hello, Debbie. Happy New Year from LinkedIn user. Okay, sorry, I don't know who that is. The name doesn't always come up on my screen. I'll try to open it up on my phone and see if I can see who you are. She posted a video about talking about these. Okay, I didn't see that yet. Oh, Prajot, have you been? It's been a while. Good to see you. Okay, so these are Erin's pieces of advice, and we can see if we agree or disagree. You know, it's not advice, it's her predictions for the job market. So her first prediction is what she's calling anti-tech shift. Tech will continue to scale back post-pandemic bloat and AI frenzy / health plus elder care, construction manufacturing will continue to grow and need more and more workers. So it sounds like she thinks that there will be continued job cuts between the number of people that were hired in the pandemic, which I didn't think was a bloat, I thought was normal. And I still think many people in tech thought they were overworked and needed larger teams. So I do not subscribe to the bloat or the we overhired thing. We've debunked that a few times on this channel, so I don't have to go through it again. She believes that health, elder care, construction, manufacturing will continue to grow and need more and more workers. Okay, but those sound like non-tech human jobs, like taking care of humans, which is not going to be done by AI. Construction is not going to be done by AI. So it sounds like she believes that tech will continue downsizing, and human non-tech jobs will need more people and will grow. Ana Lucia says exactly. She thinks tech will be taking quite a cut. I also agree. I believe we are going to see continued layoffs and continually making tech teams of all types smaller. Not just UX, because we often talk about UX on this channel, but marketing, engineering, business analysts, product management, product owners, Scrum. I think we're going to see all areas of tech being reduced. So yes, and I do think that people will be much safer if they got into more of these human jobs that, ask yourself, what can't AI do anytime soon? And that might be a good direction to go. Number 2, Erin says, and let me zoom in, make this bigger. Let's see. AI is going to actually automate. Like all technology, AI had a rocky start, but this year companies will implement tools that won't take jobs away, but will drastically change the types of hiring companies do. This is where I disagree with Erin. I believe that AI is getting good enough to take jobs away. And it's starting with customer service and support jobs. It's moving into design jobs. It's trying to move into some coding jobs. I think that we will see drastic changes to the types of hiring companies do, but because AI and other things are taking those jobs away. So I think I only half agree with her here. I do think AI is going to take jobs away. And I think if you read a lot of the stuff coming from some of the AI companies, they are proudly saying, we're going to take jobs away. We want to take jobs away. So that's their goal. So I would expect that to happen to some extent. Erin's prediction number 3 says stale job market. I don't know about stale. I think you've just given us 2 reasons why it's going to drop. But Erin says with a new administration, and so she's talking about the American presidency changing hands in the next few weeks, with a new administration and uncertainty related to things like tariffs and immigration, companies will have a conservative first quarter. Tech and corporate workers will have the hardest time finding new jobs. Okay, so she's saying for the 3rd time. Tech jobs are going to be in increased trouble. She's using some soft words like stale job market. I think she's afraid of alarming people. I'm not. I think we need to sound those alarms and tell people, what she's calling a stale job market could mean you don't find a job. You're going to have lots of words for that other than stale. You're going to have a lot to say about that other than the word stale. So, tech and corporate workers will have the hardest time finding new jobs. Again, for the third Erin prediction, it has to do with, we started with tech is going to scale back. AI it maybe isn't going to, we've moved from stale to growing mold. Oh, yesterday in gaming, I heart you. Yeah, it's true. We're beyond stale. We're dropping. I can understand why she wants to use soft words. People are afraid of being alarmist. I've had some words with people on Blue Sky where they were like, why are you telling me? I get it. But let's see what else Erin says, because here's Erin's piece of, not piece of advice, but prediction number 4 out of 6. Return to office push. Because of the stale market, which I need to put in air quotes, companies will have more leverage to enforce returning to office. Well, they're already doing that. We saw that happening last year. We saw a dramatic increase in companies saying that either full-time or hybrid, you must have your big fat ass literally in our office at least X days a week, if not every day. And if you have to move to where our office is, F you. Pay for your own move, get here, figure it out. We're not paying for that. So I do think we're going to see more of that because I think that companies love having control over people, love getting some incentives from local communities to bring people to these areas. And third, I think they love seeing people quit when they don't want to come back into the office so that they can relist that job for less pay. So I think we are going to see more return to office, more hybrid roles, and more come in 5 days a week types of roles. So I think I would agree with her. She says this is going to lead to entrepreneurship splash, as she's calling it. She says, with a dysfunctional online job market, okay, so now she's calling it, so we've called it stale, we've called it dropping, we've called it dysfunctional. Oh, and now she's saying AI-related layoffs. So wait a minute, Erin, I find you interesting, but in number 2, you said AI is not going to take jobs away, just change the type of hiring. But now you're saying AI-related layoffs. And so I think, again, I recognize she's being gentle. We all have our psychology hats on. We understand what Erin's trying to do. She's trying to break this to us softly, half softly, but Erin, on this channel, we have our critical thinking hats on and we hear what you're really saying. Ana Lucia says JP Morgan is the newest return to office employer. Yeah, I'm not surprised. So number 5, Erin says, with a dysfunctional online job market, AI-related layoffs, which means AI is coming for some jobs, and the return to office orders, employees will jump ship and try their own businesses, freelance or gig work. Note, I believe this would be a tsunami if the U.S. didn't tie healthcare to employment. She's got a good point there as well. So again, as usual, please read my Life After Tech book. You don't have to leave tech to read the book. It is about figuring out what you're going to do for non-tech work, whether that's a side hustle or freelancing or entrepreneurship or various other things. And many of you know I'm working on various other things, but right now I'm not talking about me. Let's continue with Erin. And again, keep the comments coming. I'm curious what people think about all of this. Also, let me just take one moment quickly to look at Twitch. Okay, we've got an ad break in 15 minutes on Twitch. So we just have to be mindful of that because the Twitch people, I think, will miss what I'm saying for that short period of time. Okay, back to the Erin verse. Erin, I think we will see people going more into their own businesses. We're definitely going to have more content coming up on that on this channel. I've got lots of stuff planned for Take Action Tuesday. It's a brand new stream that's going to come to you live on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Italy time, which is when this started. You can always check our calendar, go to dcx.to, find the calendar of events and see what's coming. And I'll definitely make a note to do more about starting a business. Okay, so we'll schedule that. Number 6, networking is greater than online applications. Online job boards have been ruined by AI bots, mass and auto applying, ghost jobs, scams, etc. Good old-fashioned referrals are going to be on the rise. AI will not fix hiring processes. Too many jobs rely on it. All right. So in that case, Erin is saying, if I understand her correctly, that in the future, it's going to be a little bit more of what we used to call the hidden job market. Some of you may have heard those terms. And that's where you are more likely to get an interview or get a job or get some freelance or contract work because somebody knows you or somebody heard of you or they're in your network in some way, or they post something to our Discord, you respond to it, you get some work. I think I think she's half right. I think we're still going to see plenty of traditional applications. I hope people will become more picky about what they apply to and what they don't. I think I apply to 1 or 2 jobs a week. I keep it very, very limited to what I think I'm immensely qualified for, and I don't bother scattering applications everywhere. I'm definitely not using AI for this, though I did make some adjustments to my resume with AI. We're going to talk about that on a Take Action Tuesday in February, so I hope you'll join. But I think that the hard part about what Erin's saying here is then, well, how do you network? How do you find these people who are going to get you these jobs? And I think ultimately it's about being active in communities. I think that we're going to see a rise of more communities where people are going, all right, I have this open job. I don't want to put it out there and get 1,000 applications. I'm going to post it to a couple of communities that I'm in, whether those are Slacks or Discords or other things. Ana Lucia says, to be honest, LinkedIn, Indeed, and all that seem to be scraping the internet for job offers. They want clicks, clicks, clicks. They don't care about us in the end. Hey, I can't disagree with that. I'm spending less and less time on LinkedIn, and I got to tell you, I don't miss it. So, yeah. I'm thinking of the last couple of jobs that I applied to. I applied to 2 jobs this week so far. One of them came to me from one of my best friends who said, whoa, my company is looking for you to fill in for someone's maternity leave. So I put myself in for that. And a recruiter just wrote to me and said, hey, are you free? I've got a 3-month contract for something you'd be good at. Okay, I'll talk to that recruiter later or tomorrow. I don't know if I'll get any of these, but yeah, these jobs found me. Some of you know I have a potential startup client who I've started working with in a small way, and I hope they'll get the budget to work with me more. They found me because they searched Google for a UX coach because they were hoping to get their loan designer some help. So, that was hidden job market. Yesterday in Gaming, who shows up on Twitch as Cows with Halberds. Is that how you pronounce that? A lot of people trying their own business will revert to top 10 online hustle videos. This leads them into another bottleneck similar to applying for tech work. AI doesn't immediately solve the lack of guidance. Can you move a bit down? I was looking at Hey Fauna's comment. It seemed interesting. I can't read the rest. Yes. Hey Fauna says, at some point, will hiring managers get themselves together and actually hire with skills testing and not in-person interviews until the final round? This culture fit bias will be the death of us, I fear. Well, culture fit has always been a fake reason to cut people out of the process for bad reasons, usually discriminatory reasons. So, yeah. Yep. So thanks to Ana Lucia for sending that over. That was a great find and great conversation fodder for us. Give me a second. I'm going to move myself slightly over. That looks a little better. So yeah, something I wanted to mention with what Yesterday in Gaming just said, which was I am seeing a little bit of an uptick in people saying, I want to start my own business and I think I want to do drop shipping. Well, holy cats, I think I know almost everything there is to know about drop shipping from all of the years that I worked with eBay and online sellers. And drop shipping was a loser 15 years ago. And it's more of a loser now. So if you are thinking about, oh, thank you, Carla Maria Brasil. Thank you for the follow on the Twitch. And I've got to move that over also. I'm having a little bit of a stuff is in weird places on my screen moment. I don't recommend drop shipping. No. Especially nowadays, it's even worse because you, in many cases, are up against the factory that made it. The factory that made it has their own website. The factory that made it is on Amazon selling it for less than you could ever sell it for. And they've made more sales and they've shipped it. And you are probably not going to be the preferred vendor. Same on Etsy. Etsy has a lot of people selling from drop shippers. And it, on paper, it looks like an easy business model, but it very often fails. And I just really want to warn people about that. So do not go blindfoldedly into drop shipping universe. Let's put it that way. Drop shipping isn't dead by now, says Ana Lucia. No, it is not dead. There are still people out there, sadly, making money off buy my dropshipping course or join my dropshipping club or whatever. You know, the biggest money maker there is always the course, because you probably won't make the money doing the actual drop shipping. Very often it's the course or sometimes a multi-level marketing, and these can be quite costly with too often little or no return. Ana Lucia says, not to mention you may have to deal with customs, and that's a pain. Yeah, a lot of people, well, you might not have to deal with customs if it's true drop shipping, where you just take the order and someone else fulfills the order. But you have to remember, if someone's unhappy with that order, how do you take a return? Does it go to you? Does it go to the drop shipping company? You will have to give money back. How does the drop shipper work with you? There's so many complexities to the logistics of this beyond the concerns about who wants any of this. Does anybody want any of this? And if they do, can't they find it much cheaper on your Amazons and your Etsys now, which have just become flooded with all of the drop shippers and the factories supplying the drop shippers? All right, so we've got 2 topics today so far. Erin's job market predictions, thanks again, and drop shipping, which rarely works. Let me see if I'm missing any emails from anybody who had an anonymous comment. No, okay, not yet. Just checking that I'm not missing anything. Sometimes people are mad at me when I miss something. Dropshipping worked better in the EU when we had other rules. Now the rules are way tighter. Personally, I wouldn't dabble in that. Talking about customs. Yeah, and it's even harder with Brexit because sometimes we've new border problems with Brexit. So, unfortunately. Okay, so this is our every Wednesday Q&A AMA. I'm here to answer any questions you have, or you can start a conversation or discussion about something that's on your mind. Very often we're talking about both jobs and life. So things related to goals and personal improvement. Last week we did a stream. It's archived on our YouTube channel. You can find it at, of course, YouTube channel Delta CX Hive. We did a stream helping people look at their goals for the year. So if you didn't do that, go find that over, even though we're streaming a lot on Twitch, all of the archives are on YouTube because Twitch only keeps things a limited amount of time. So Delta CX Hive on YouTube. Great place to find the archives. Twitch, I think, is better to join us live. I think there's less of a delay. So yeah, check out the goal setting adventure we had. It was like episode 252 or something like that. And more coming. Let's take a look at the schedule. Next week is our first Take Action Tuesday, and it's kind of a two-parter. So next Tuesday, I'm going to be talking about how and why I use Claude, the AI from Anthropic. I've gone from deeply hating AI to liking Claude, but still being suspicious of a lot of AI. But I want to show you what I'm doing with Claude and why I like it, because I feel like I'm using Claude in a very unique way. And I even asked Claude, and Claude's like, yeah, you're using this in a unique way. So I'm going to talk about Claude next week. And then the week after that is probably going to be a pretty controversial video that even I'm not prepared for. But without practicing first, I'm going to ask Claude to pretend to be a UX researcher and do generative research with me via chat. I'll be the sample participant, and I'm going to ask it to invent the research plan, ask me questions it has come up with, ask me spontaneous follow-up questions, and then I'm going to ask it for insights, suggestions, and possibly a task analysis. And I get the feeling that's going to be controversial because I get the feeling Claude's going to do okay with it. But Claude does not yet deal in audio or video. So obviously when it comes to a research interaction, Claude's not going to hear tone of voice. It's not going to see faces I'm making. It can't watch me use an interface. So no, I don't think that AI can replace researchers yet. That is definitely not my message, and I'll make that clear in 2 weeks when we do that show. But I think I and all of us will be surprised at how good Claude could be pretending to be a researcher in a chat scenario. I'm going to have it ask me about a real purchase and return experience I had with a company, and see how it does. So yeah. Ana Lucia said, I was traveling when you were streaming. I couldn't watch live. I'll take a look at it. Great. Check out the goals stream for sure. Yesterday in Gaming says, very excited for that event. Yeah, I decided to make it a two-parter because I realized there was so much backstory to how I'm using Claude that it really needed its own episode, because so many people are using ChatGPT and I'm not. And when I've done some comparisons between what does Claude tell me with this question and what does ChatGPT tell me with this question, it was very different. And in one case, I then copied ChatGPT's thing over to Claude and said, what do you think of this answer ChatGPT gave me? And Claude analyzed it. And I took Claude's answer and I gave it to ChatGPT and I said, what do you think of the answer Claude gave me? And so it's been interesting. It's been interesting. Ana Lucia says, one of the questions I had around goals and objectives was, what do you recommend doing to set actual reasonable and achievable goals for ourselves or professionally? That's great. Let me put that question on our list for today's stream and put it up on our new question panel. Here we go. New question panel looks like this. Okay, so Ana Lucia asks about goals and objectives, set reasonable and achievable goals for ourselves or professionally. Reasonable and achievable goals are, to me, you have to keep that in mind. What is reasonable and achievable? Sure, we all want to be a millionaire tomorrow, but what's reasonable and achievable? I think if you go through the steps that we put in the last stream, and let me go onto YouTube and see what episode. Oh, sorry. Twitch is going to get an ad break. So let me find that episode for you, and we'll be back in 2 minutes, and I'll tell everybody what that was. YouTube, you're going to see me sitting here for 2 minutes while Twitch gets an ad break, but that's the way it works. Okay. So, and LinkedIn, you're going to see that as well. New Year's Eve goal setting was 255. Okay, great. Let's make a copy of this. Oh, sorry for the dead air. Twitch is on an ad break, and I want to be respectful of that and not have them missing content because they're in an ad break. So let's see when they'll be back from watching ads. 50 seconds. So in 50 seconds, we'll start this. Again, if you have questions or comments, send them in the chat or use dcx.to/Q for questions. I have real issue with trying to set a time. What's unreasonable to achieve that? How will it take? Okay. And 3, 2, 1. Okay, Twitch is back. You missed nothing. I said basically nothing while you were in an ad break so that you wouldn't miss anything. That is my promise to you. By the way, Twitchers, when you get an ad break, do you see me? Do you hear me? Let me know. But the way it used to work on Twitch was when there was an ad break, my audio would shut off and my picture would become really small and your screen would be taken over by an ad. I don't know if they've changed that. So can you tell me what you see for an ad break? Can't hear you, but it shows you in a box in a corner. Okay, that's the way it used to work. Okay, so that way when you're in an ad break, I am not going to say anything important. And I've ad blocks, so I saw you all the time. Okay, so I'm going to make sure whenever Twitch has an ad break, I'm just not going to say anything important, and I'm going to wait for everybody to come back. So that is my promise to you. Okay, so meanwhile, I pulled up this, which is a little weird to look at, but this is the setting goals thing that we did. Oh, thank you for all the messages today. So it turns out it was episode 255. I think I got them a little out of order, but there you go. 255 was New Year goal setting. So you can find this on the Delta CX Hive YouTube channel. It was the old CX-CC channel. So if you're subscribed to that, you're already subscribed to this one. It just got a rebrand. And you can find that it was streamed just a week ago. And so to go back to Ana Lucia's question, can setting reasonable and achievable goals? I would say go through that process because the goal exercises we went through, just follow the video. The video is going to tell you exactly what to do. There's a Miro board where you've got templates to work from. And basically we just looked at, first we reflected on 2024. And we thought about what are our core personal values for 2025. And I think thinking about values is a great place to go. It's also something we're learning about in coaching school, to always try to center people around their values. And by centering yourself around some of your key personal values, even if they change from time to time, you will probably have a better time setting reasonable goals, being motivated to achieve them, and prioritizing them better because you'll be focused on what's important to you, what's going to satisfy my personal values. We also went through the Wheel of Life, which has to do with how you rate certain areas of your life, which will give you an idea of where you want to grow or improve. And then we wrote down some goals. We looked at how motivated we might be to work on these things or change them. We took a look at who or what might support you in making those changes and what might block you. So try to get some self-awareness around that, I think could definitely help. And then Ana Lucia also said, I have a real issue with trying to set a time. What's a reasonable time to achieve this or that? How will I know if it'll take me 3 months or a year or a week? I think the question is, do you have a time frame for any of these life goals? Like, for example, if I say I want to lose a certain number of kilograms, is it important for me to do it in a month? Maybe if I have a health problem where I'm being told that I must lose weight, then maybe losing weight faster is important. If losing weight faster isn't important, then maybe I take a little more time to do it, as long as I do it. So I can't tell anybody how much time any particular goal will take. It usually has to do with our motivation, how motivated we feel to make those changes, and our values. How important is this to my personal values? And the dcx.coach, that is a web address, the dcx.coach website, under Take Action, which is where we get Take Action Tuesdays, Take Action section of that site has a list of personal values. So if you're having trouble thinking of personal values, head on over to that website and you'll be able to get some ideas about what's important to you. But I can't say, oh, if you have this type of goal, it should only take you a week. Or if you have this type of goal, it should only take you this amount of time. Or, whoa, that's going to take a year. It's just going to be different for everybody. I can't really say. You know, I know that I would love to lose 15 kilograms in the next 6 weeks, but that's probably not healthy. That's probably not safe. I'm not taking medication to do it. So I'm just going to have to say to myself, you know what? There's a certain amount of weight I want to lose, and I'm going to try to do it healthy, and it'll probably be easier when the weather warms up and I go for more walks and do exercise, but I'll start and I'll do what I can, and I'll celebrate small wins, hopefully not with a big pizza. Okay, so Ana Lucia has a new question. Let's put it up on the screen. Okay, how do you establish your own professional timelines? For example, you have to give an estimate to a stakeholder or manager for a project. Okay, we've actually done shows on this before. By the way, I wonder if I should have this on the other side. No. We've done shows on this before. Back on the old Delta CX channel, we talked about estimating projects. So I have a lot to say about that, and it's probably not a short amount of time. Let me see if I can find that old video. Let's see. Delta CX estimate. Let's see if I put that into YouTube. What do I get? Oh, I'm getting Delta Airlines updates. No. Where I had a video. It might be in micro lessons. Let's see. Project management, maybe it was called. Yeah. Here it is. So I've got an old video. It is 3 years old at this point, but let me pull it up on the screen for you so you know that it's a thing, and hopefully you can then find it. And here we go. So let me take this off the screen for a moment. There's an old video on the other channel, which is Delta CX. This one's Delta CX Hive. And it was a micro lesson called UX Project Scoping, Planning, and Managing. Ana Lucia, I would say give that one a watch and then see what follow-up questions you have for me. That might be a good place to start, because we spent about an hour talking about how to estimate projects. And some of that is just going to take practice. You'll estimate a project, you'll log your hours, you'll see how wrong you were, and you'll learn from that. But that video is probably your best bet. And so I think if you just go to YouTube and you type in Delta CX, I just found it typing Delta CX Project Management, even though that's not in the title, it found it. So you could find it too. So I would say give that one a try, and then let me know what follow-up questions you have, you can always go into our Discord, and there is a channel in the Our Work section of the Discord that is a big red question mark that says Need Help Questions. And you can always start a thread in there if you have work-related questions, and I'm sure I and other people will step up and give you some help. The idea of severely underestimating timelines haunts me. Yes, timelines are scary, but I think that it is better to pad them. And I think in the video I talk about how to pad them, especially if you're not sure how long something will take. I've been doing this long enough that I'm pretty good at estimating, and I usually don't mess it up too badly, but I also do pad the time so that if I'm a little bit off, I've got that cushion. But if you think you're going to be a lot off, then you need help. But the video will help you. I also have a spreadsheet that I show people, and it's a tool that I invented that will help you estimate. So check that out. Yesterday in Gaming says, for personal development, what helped me was seeing patience as a skill I could develop rather than something I have a limited supply of and having to work around it. Along with that, not comparing yourself to the past. People always push the idea of being better than you were yesterday, but this isn't always helpful. Yeah, that's a great point. And you've continued. Letting go of the past is sometimes what's needed to move forward and set clearer goals that resonate with who you are today. Yeah, you done it. You said it. These are great. They're very true. Yeah, I don't want to compare myself to past self. There were times where my past self was a giant mess and a disaster. And then there were times where my past self was doing a little better than I am now. But what's the point of that? That's almost as unreasonable as comparing myself to someone else, because I'm in this moment, and I've got this moment, and I've got future moments, and that's all I can work from. And so I think that's great. Thank you for sharing that. And the idea of developing patience as a skill, I definitely resonate with that, because growing up outside of New York City, I definitely did not grow up in a culture of patience. I definitely did not grow up in a culture of people who were happy to wait for things or be patient in any personal or work-related way. And that was, I think I was more of a patient person than others, but it was still something I had to develop, especially getting out of that culture. Yeah, letting go of the past for sure. And I think if you are going to look back at the past, then go there in the sense of, okay, remember this time when that really worked? What made that really work? Was it something I did? Was it something I didn't do? Was it something about the situation I was in? Was it the presence of something, the absence of something? If you do want to go into the past and look at some past self thing, then I would say just get smart about it. Just look at it as if you are an observer and look at it objectively. Like, for example, I had lost a good amount of weight at the beginning of the pandemic. Why? What was the difference? Well, I was doing more exercise. My eating was a little bit different. I was doing a lot more portion control at the time, and I hadn't gone through menopause yet. So now I'm in a different boat. Welcome to being 53. And so, I can look back and go, oh yeah, it really worked better when I counted every calorie and made sure I got exercise every day. Yes, it did. Will I make time for that now? I have to figure that out. But even if I do, the results may or may not be the same because my situation has changed. I'm in menopause, and I will be for the rest of my life, and that has affected my weight. Yesterday in Gaming says +1 to focusing on the successes in the past and be okay discarding the rest. Yeah, exactly. And if I do look back at past failures, I like to look at them objectively and analytically. I like to look back and go, you know what? I didn't get that right. That didn't go well. But instead of beating myself up over it, which I usually don't do, that's usually not my thing, I say, what happened there? What went wrong? What did I do right? What could I have done better? What did someone else do right? What could they have done better? What was something about the situation that worked for me or against me? So to me, if I am going to look back at the past, I try to look back at it without emotion, without judgment or rose-colored glasses, and just look at it analytically and objectively to say what went well, what didn't go well. And can I learn from that and take that into the future? Yeah, because I'm not a beat myself up over it type of person. I do sometimes hold on to things I feel badly about. I have a hard time letting go of some of those things, but because I know I can do that, I don't want to look back and find more things that I'm going to have trouble letting go of. I want to give myself permission to let go of that. And whether you call that forgiveness or letting go or something else, I know I don't want to hold on too hard to my past mistakes or past weirdnesses. I want to learn from them and move on. Great conversations today. Thanks, everybody. This is Wednesday's my late night. I have my coaching school from midnight to 2 in the morning my time, so I'll be messy tomorrow. It's 7:45 at night here, so I've got over 4 hours until coaching school, and today we are starting level 2. I'm very excited. Yesterday in Gaming says, I'm also trying to be more of an intuitive eater. I've been down the route of weighing and counting calories. It worked for a long time, but ultimately I burned out on it. Going back to that method of success doesn't feel right. I totally feel you there, because I was heavily counting calories at the beginning of the pandemic. I was down probably 13, 15 pounds lighter than I am now, probably about 15. I was very happy with that weight, even though that wasn't even my goal weight. And now when I think about how I would need to get there, that feels like I don't want to have to do it that way. I want to try to come up with a program that I can follow that I know will be a calorie reduction without feeling like I have to weigh and measure, and turn everything into a math problem. So I'm trying to think of it, I might try more in terms of like blocks of food. Like, for example, I know typically when I make a breakfast protein shake, it's about 400 calories. And I know typically when I make lunch for myself, it's about 3 something. And then typically my snack is yogurt with fruit, and that's going to be X. And I'll have some chocolate during the day because I'm a super chocolate head, and that's going to be 200 calories of chocolate. And so my question is, if I can turn these into some blocks that I know have a rough calorie estimate, can I try to keep my day to these blocks? I'm going to start tomorrow. It's the starting tomorrow thing. That's how I do it. I have predetermined meals. Well, are we related? I usually follow. Anna Lucia says, I hate anything to do with losing weight. I'm tired. I tried so many things. Counting calories isn't working either. I know I even fixed my binge eating, and my anxiety is much better nowadays. Didn't fix anything. Now I'm searching for other possible reasons. Yeah, look, food is delicious, and food is engineered for us to eat more and more of it. And I think that I'm no expert on food or eating or nutrition, but I know the busier I am, the less I eat. And when I'm out of work, as I am now, I tend to eat more. And I don't know why that is. But when I'm working, I get so in the zone with my work that I snack less. So I also hope that getting back into a work cycle will help me. So there's a few things that can help me. But it's going to be different for everybody. We're all on our own journeys. There's a good-looking man sitting next to me who I also hope is on a weight loss journey. Cough, cough. Hello, handsome.
Love you.
What?
Love you.
Love you too. What am I saying the wrong thing?
No, let's go walk.
He says, let's go walk. Yeah, bye everybody.
Maybe not this minute.
Yeah, what's the temperature outside right now? Let's see. No, not bad. It says it's 12. That could be a nice night. 12 Celsius for those of you in America freaking out right now that it's 12 here. That's probably 55-ish. Yeah, so we got to do it. We got to do it, and hopefully I'll get myself into some vibe soon. Ana Lucia says, even nutritionists couldn't help me because they think I'm lying about what I eat. Yeah, Ana Lucia, this could possibly be a hormonal thing because I know with menopause, as soon as I hit menopause, the amount of food I was eating that was enough to lose a little weight each week was all of a sudden making me gain weight. All of a sudden, it was just, I fell off some hormonal cliff. I'm not doing any hormone therapy or things like that, but I fell off some hormonal cliff. And basically, the math that I did at the time is if I eat more than 1,300 calories in a day, I'll probably gain weight. That's just where I've landed. And so I have to make my own shifts if I want my weight to be less than it is, and I do. I always have a goal. My first goal is always zip up my motorcycle pants. And right now I'm a little far from that. But it hasn't been motorcycle season lately, but it will be. And so I've got to get back to zip up motorcycle pants. Yesterday in Gaming says, I've done everything. Keto, fasting, counting calories, all have worked until they don't. The answer is flexibility. Totally agree. Keto was working well for me a couple of times in my life. And then really once I hit menopause, that's when everything fell apart. Yesterday in Gaming, I don't know your gender, not that you have to tell me, but you may or may not be facing menopause anytime soon. I was going to guess male for you, but I honestly don't know. So yeah, I mean, what's anybody's excuse? Male, okay. So, Mr. Yesterday in Gaming, you are unlikely to go through menopause, and I've heard that my menopause is relatively light and dreamy compared to what other people have faced, and so there's some blessings to count there. But at the same time, I've been unhappy with my weight. And trying to not do anything too weird. Oh, one of my best friends is on not Ozempic, but the other one. It sounds like Mount Kilimanjaro. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? She's lost 100 pounds so far. She had a lot more weight to lose than I do. I think my goal would be 30 pounds, so 14-ish kilograms from where I am now, maybe even a little bit more. Actually, I've probably put on a few pounds. So yeah, my goal would be probably to lose 30 to 35 pounds, so 15-ish kilograms. She's lost 100 pounds in the last year on one of those drugs. Thank you, Manjaro. I always go Mount Kilimanjaro. I am wrong. It's very expensive, but she says it works, and I don't want to go there. I mean, and first of all, I don't feel like I have the money for it, especially not having a job. I'm trying to not spend money on vanity. Have you ever seen my fingernails? Like, I color my own hair. This is low vanity over here. I'm jealous of her losing 100 pounds. Me too. And I'm proud of her. I'm so proud of her. I mean, her weight was a tough number. She's a little taller than I am, but she was obviously much heavier. And now she's almost the same weight as me, which is amazing. So I'm so excited to see her again. She's going to be a different person. I'll probably be crying my eyes out, but I don't think I want to go I'm usually the low medicine route person for a couple of reasons. One, I want to try to do things myself. I was that way as a little kid. I'm that way as an adult. Number two, I have a lot of weird, random, you don't know it until you bump into it, allergies. I was in the emergency room during the pandemic here for trying a nasal spray for spring allergies. It gave me a completely random allergic reaction that nobody could have seen coming and nobody ever figured out. So I'm always nervous to take unnecessary medications because I don't know how they will affect me. Those of you who are American will be familiar with the cold medicine NyQuil. The last time I took that was 2008 because it gave me heart palpitations. And it's supposed to be a medicine that puts you to sleep so you don't know you have the flu. And it sped me up and messed me up badly. I have a lot of weird, unpredictable reactions to things, and so I don't want to take anything that I don't really need to take. I don't want to go to the emergency room. It is impressive and I'm happy for her. Yeah, thank you. Me too. Me too. Unbelievable. But good for her. You know, so yeah, my joke is always, I just want to look the way I do on video calls. I just, in real life, I just want to look like this, even though I mostly look like this. NyQuil gave me my most vivid lucid dream to date. Okay. floating. Yeah, I took it once and it messed me up. And like, I have these very weird, and I find that as I get older, my allergies are getting more sensitive. Someone once said to me like, oh, when you get older, maybe you'll grow out of your allergies. And I find that my allergies are getting more sensitive. And actually the, this will be a bit of a giveaway. The nurse on duty at Disney World said the same thing to me some years ago when I landed in the medical center at Disney World, Florida, after being served something I was allergic to in one of their restaurants when I told them I was allergic to it. To be honest, I think COVID messed up a lot of our allergies. Oh, that's interesting. That's an interesting hypothesis. I like it. Let's see, when did I have COVID? I had COVID twice, January 2023 and last September. So if you just watch the videos I just re-put up that I shot in September where I go, oh, I'm sick, I had COVID. I've had worse allergies since COVID also. Yeah, interesting. Hard for me to tell because so many of my allergies are foods or medicines. And so if I just avoid the foods and avoid the medicines, I can live an allergy-free life. But I have noticed my fish allergy being worse, but I had no idea if that was age, menopause, something else. But you're right. Maybe having COVID is making some of my allergies more sensitive. We at his sister's baby's baptism party about 2 months ago, they were putting out plates of fish, and I had to ask for a face mask. Is that what we say in English? I had to ask for a mask because just sitting near the fish was starting to affect me. And I felt so badly about that because I looked like the weirdo at the party. So, yeah, interesting stuff and stuff that we just don't know enough about. But I hope we'll keep learning. So with that, I'm gonna wrap up and see what else is going on in my world. Thank you so much for another great show. I love these Wednesday conversations. And now we're going to be adding Tuesdays in with these special topics that we're going to do, our Take Action Tuesdays. So make sure you join for that. Please follow, especially on Twitch. I think that is just the best place for streams. And we'll just archive stuff on YouTube for sure. Let's see. Excuse me, taking a look at my calendar. I might try to sneak in another co-working stream Friday, but I'm not sure. Saturday karaoke, for those of you who would like me to sing at them. No charge. And then Tuesday and Wednesday next week. So Tuesday and Wednesday are going to be our definite recurring streams. So Tuesday will be how and why I use Claude for AI. Then Wednesday will be co-working, and then Wednesday, Q&A should include Dr. Nick. We'll see if we can get him all aboard our new Wednesday schedule. So I'll keep you posted there. All right, let me click my end of show button and should play us out of here. So thanks to everybody. Have a super rest of your day. And I guess I will catch you all either Friday for some co-working or maybe Saturday for some karaoke. Thanks. See ya.